special friend of mine coming on stage, another startup called Carzapp. This gentleman is called Oliver Lünstedt, co-founder and CEO.
Thanks. Yeah, hi. I'm Oliver from Carzapp. Thank you, Jan, for inviting me here to present Carzapp at Ecosummit Berlin. So you've probably heard about car sharing. You've seen a lot of car-to-goes, drive-nows here in Berlin. And you maybe even heard about peer-to-peer or private car sharing. So Carzapp is exactly in the private car sharing area. And what is private car sharing about? Well, if you do own a car, you do have a lot of costs attached to it. You have a pain that you have to look for parking spots, especially in some areas here in Berlin, in East Berlin. You have to pay for petrol costs. You have to pay for insurance and all kinds of taxes. And you have chosen to own a car for some reason, because you need it for whatever, as a status symbol, earlier days. Nowadays, maybe because you just want to be mobile, you need to maybe transfer yourself each day to your job, maybe 50, 100 kilometers from outside Berlin to downtown Berlin. For whatever reason, you do own a car. If you don't own a car, well, you don't have to carry these costs. But from time to time, for whatever reason, might be bad weather, might be some transportation, some holidays that you need a car, and you don't own one. So why not bring these two groups together? Well, there's some problem attached to it. Besides insurance and all these kind of issues, if you do want to rent somebody else's car, you need to have the key. So if you meet to rent the key, to get the key to rent the car, you have 4 issues coming up already. The owner might come too late to give you the key. You might come too late if you rent the car. And the same happens again when you return the car. You might get late because you just have a bad time management, or you got stuck in traffic, or the car owner is just not there. So our solution to this problem in peer-to-peer car sharing is the so-called ZappKit, which I brought today. It consists of 2 units, a master and a slave unit. This one is just fairly new, so not equipped yet with any marketing material. And the ZappKit does a lot of things. This master unit opens the car remotely if we allow anybody to open it via smartphone. That means you don't need to meet each other to open the car. Secondly, we have all the communication in here. So GSM, we have a GPS, of course, in there to find the car, to track, or to measure the distance driven, and all these kind of features that you need if you rent a car. And lastly, to be able to insure this whole concept, I already mentioned it, it's a big issue. We have this immobiliser here, which is secretly placed somewhere in the car. And if you find one of these boxes, you still don't know what the other one is, so you still cannot steal the car. And this made 2 insurances now already say, we want to insure you. And they even say it's cheaper if this kit is included in the car to insure the car for those users than if it's not included. So they are convinced of the safety of our concept. So this now means, as a car owner, you can profitably rent out your car. You can make money, of course, with it. You keep control. You can allow anyone to rent it or not allow that person. We can track it so it's safe, and we even have a crash sensor in it, so if something happens during the rental period, that's not going to be a problem. For the renter, we have an easy access solution to any car that he wants to rent anywhere, for the start now in Berlin, and next year all over Germany. And any car model, the whole model diversity is there. So you might say, okay, well, another car sharing player in the market. And to be honest, yes, there are a lot of car sharing players. We do separate the market into 4 segments. We do have the players, the old players like Lünstedt, Stadtmobil, Cambio. There are many clubs and so on that have a station-based system with an expensive hardware solution in the car. And we do have now these new providers from car manufacturers like DriveNow from BMW or Car2Go for spontaneous renting. Now, the relatively young peer-to-peer market has 3 players in Germany. They're mentioned here, and 1 new player is going to come in soon, which is Carzapp, which we are. And we do have, as the only player, a hardware solution, which is already shortly before being patented. We already have a positive response to that from the patent office. And well, clearly for the user, it's quite difficult to find the right car sharing solution. And that's why especially we think, if you even go deeper into it, into the services in mobility in general, you have peer-to-peer services like Carzapp, but you all have these classical services like car sharing or even rental companies like Sixt and Hertz. As an alternative, you have taxis, you have ride sharing where you can share your ride. Why not combine these services? Well, what do you need to combine any services? If you don't want to have a break in a media use of smartphones nowadays, you need a hardware solution in the private cars on the one side, but you need to have integration as well. Another aspect that we cover with our ZappKit, that we are able to integrate other services. So imagine you rent a car and you say, okay, I'm going to travel 600 kilometers with it and I need it for 2 days. We could, for example, in that case say, okay, maybe you want to share your ride. We already know who you are. We know that you're a certified, identified user. Why don't you place it on, let's say, carpooling.com, BlaBlaCar, and with 2 clicks, you can find any people that you want to share your ride with and even save more money. So this is the future that we see. My time is almost over, so let me quickly introduce you to our team. We are 11 people at the moment, and what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for an investment. We raised 600,000 euros so far, just recently 250,000 from a crowdfunding platform, because we think it makes sense not to only share cars, but also to share parts of our company. So in a German crowdfunding platform, we raised 250,000 euros for our company. And we are looking now for the next round of financing to scale the whole system. So we're looking for 1.5 million towards the end of this year. So if you're interested in talking about that, or maybe you do have a fleet that you want to integrate into Carzapp, if you are from a company here, please feel free to talk to me during the networking lunch or tonight during the dinner and after show party. Thank you very much.
Do you have a question to Oliver? Sebastian, just wait for the microphone.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I really appreciate these combined services. We are all, I think, demanding for that. My question would be about how would you, aggregate the confidence indicator? Because all those platforms are built on confidence between users, either with just assessment of drivers and passengers, and but do you have a solution to aggregate the confidence level on each platform into only one? And the other thing would be about insurance. I think it's a key element also in this business. What we see actually is just like the same insurance for everybody, whatever your track record as a driver, either you are someone that is crashing his car all the time or not. Do you have any solution for the future, or what are your vision about more, let's say, customized insurance, or if it's what you are looking for or not? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for the questions. First of all, towards the confidence, I didn't talk so much because of time issues about our platform. We do, of course, have a platform where you can present yourself, where you get ratings, just like on eBay or Airbnb or whatever. And we are, of course, interested in combining these trusted members. For example, we need to identify the people that use the car sharing service, because if you open a car with a smartphone, you need to show your ID, your driver's license, and your credit or EC card once you register. So we do know at least that these people exist, in contrast to some other platforms. But of course, we're interested in combined rating services, and there are startups already working on this and already coming out on the market. So we will probably combine these ratings. Towards the insurance, well, we are happy now that we have one or now even two insurances that want to insure us. We're going to combine these to get one insurance concept out. For the start right now, it's a flat rate per hour, per day, per week. And of course, we are thinking towards the future that we do have something like as a pay-as-you-drive insurance. So if you have a good track record on sharing and on your private behavior with cars, you will get a better rate than somebody who maybe just crashed a car or is quite a bad driver. But so far, not for the start. We do not have any pay-as-you-drive systems. We start with a flat rate, but it's the future here.
Okay, I have a final question for you. When do you enter the market? How long do I wait?
Well, you have to ask the Kraftfahrt-Bundesamt there, because our solution is finalized, it's working. We already, I'm not going to say too loud, in the test phase. We have cars, of course, on our private area only. No, on our private area running and testing the system.
Okay.
We are waiting for the signature from this state institution.
Yeah.
They have our tests.
What do you think? How long will it take?
Hopefully, we applied for short-term, I think, so that we can start with 50 cars for the first 50 cars, and they said it's going to take around 2 months altogether, so hopefully 4 to 6 weeks. It's 2 weeks ago that they received all the tests.
Yeah. Unforeseen obstacles in entering the market.
Yeah, that's the way. But we can still use this as our beta test phase was planned for 6 months. We planned with very few cars to implement all these issues like insurance, identification, and so on. So we can already start with that, with these 2 or 3 cars that we have equipped. So we don't lose time by that. That's fine.
Okay, cool. And the way you're opening and closing the door, it's a secret algorithm. But it's quite funky because hundreds of engineers at Continental are still wondering how you do it, right?
Yes, well, during Seedmatch, we talked to the lead or the boss of that department, and yeah, he just told us that 2 weeks or 3 weeks before he's talked to his 400 engineers, and they told him there's no way except for the CAN bus, which we are not using, where you need allowance from the car manufacturers. So we're now already in talks with some car suppliers like for example, Continental, and also to some telecommunication operators that have fleet customers and would like to use our system.
Great. All right. Thank you very much, Oliver.